You can't get so low that God won't stoop down. His grace is unrestrained. It doesn't have limitations. It will go after anyone. See, we look at people and make judgments based on how we were raised, how we see things. We think God wouldn't have anything to do with them. They're not living right. They party too much. He's too dishonest. Her dress was too short. They use bad language. They come from a different religion. The longer I live, the more I realize God will save who He wants to save. He'll stoop down to people that don't have a good reputation. Just ask Zacchaeus. He was dishonest. He cheated people. Everyone knew he wasn't trustworthy. Yet Jesus called him out of a huge group of people. Said, I want to go to your house for dinner. The religious leaders, the priests, the council members couldn't understand it. Why would Jesus go to this guy's house? There were a lot of fine, upstanding people in the crowd. Zacchaeus was a notorious sinner. It's because they knew God as being all-powerful, holy, righteous, but they didn't know Him as the God who stoops. If you only know Him as this majestic creator of the universe, then you can be judgmental, write people off. But when you realize, even though He sits high, He stoops low. He doesn't disqualify people because they're off course now. He knows they're a Saul, they're a Zacchaeus. He comes down to redeem, to restore, to sit among princes. I was at one of our events several years ago, and afterwards I was meeting people. This young man came through the line, and I could smell marijuana. It was very strong. This was before it was legal anywhere. My first thought was, man, this is a night of hope, not a night of dope. After a couple of minutes, I started feeling really good too, but it's easy to judge people. Why do they do that? Why does she go with him? Why isn't he more disciplined? But when you know God as a God who stoops, a God that comes down to lift people, that His grace is promiscuous, it goes to anyone, then you can be a lifter. You can be a healer. You can be a restorer. Where would you be without the mercy of God? What if God had not stooped down, brought my father into His purpose? Where would I be? How many times has God stooped down to you, shown you mercy when you didn't deserve it, got you out of a problem that you got yourself into, lifted you out of the garbage, so to speak? It would be one thing if God did it condemning, judging, berating, but God doesn't say a word. He doesn't find fault. That's taught me not to judge other people. If we walked in their shoes, if we had their same experiences, we don't know what kind of decisions we would make. Since God stooped down for you, why don't you stoop down for someone else? You're never more like God than when you're helping the hurting, restoring the broken, lifting the fallen. There's enough judgment in our world today. There's enough criticism, fault-finding. Let's be lifters. Let's be encouragers. Let's help someone else experience the God who stoops. This young man told me how he had never been to church and didn't have much guidance growing up. He was passed from foster home to foster home, gotten into trouble, struggling with substance abuse. A lot had come against him. But he said, my girlfriend and I started watching you on television. When I hear you speak, I feel something on the inside that I've never felt. And I told him, that's your Heavenly Father drawing you. That's God saying, I have a plan and purpose for your life. That's what the psalmist meant. God stoops down from the heavens and lifts those in the dirt, sets them among princes. You too may have gone through disappointments, things that were unfair. You couldn't do anything about it. You never thought you'd be where you are. Be encouraged today. He's a God who stoops. He comes to the messy places, not with judgment, not with condemnation, but with hope, with new beginnings, with fresh vision. God won't let you get in a problem that He can't get you out of. You're not too far gone, hasn't been too long, you haven't missed your destiny. God is about to do a new thing. Dreams are coming back to life. Promises that you've let go of are on the way. What God started, He's going to finish.